Good day, fellow scapers. My name's Deck, but please call me Hobo, and welcome back to my channel. So as someone who pretty much rushed their way to level 99 everything and just brute forced everything in the game, in all likely the most inefficient way possible, I am now at a point where I'm having to figure out how to properly navigate and play RuneScape just to get level 120 in all skills to obtain the Master Max Cape, which I talked about in my last video. I'm extremely fortunate to be surrounded by people who play incredibly differently to me, and in all honesty, much better people as well. And one of these people mentioned something to me the other day which shocked me to my core. I was doing some woodcutting in Fort Forintry Grove, trying to obtain an Incando hatchet piece. I mentioned to a friend I was just about to teleport to another elder tree when they said that Piscatorius was most likely easier than the one in the Legends Guild, even though it still uses the fairy ring system. I made an offhand comment about how amazing portable fairy rings are and how much I'm using them at the moment, and basically how it's the best thing since sliced bread. And this friend, who is basically an iron, so they know more about resource gathering, efficiencies and general navigation than I will ever know. And like I said, it shocked me to my core when they said, I've never used them. I was like, what? How could you never have used them? And basically, I started making an absolute fool of myself. I went on for several minutes when they said to me, well, if you're using the fairy rings so much, why don't you just program them into your Grace of the Elves? I was dumbstruck. What? The amulet that I use for porters has a teleport function. So I take a look. It doesn't have a single teleport function. Man, it has 2 teleport functions. And some of the most useful functions to a skiller. Do you want to go deep sea fishing hub every day? Sure, it's got that. Do you need access to the spirit tree system every day? Yeah, it's got that too. Don't fancy needing to use a grapple to get to the top of Prifdinnis waterfall? Yeah, takes you straight there. Want to access the fairy ring system like me? Yep, turns out you don't even need a mention for that. This amulet has more than 105 different configurations to different teleports all over Gielinor. That's 15 different skilling locations, access to 38 different bosses with 1 teleport to the bossing portal, and 52 different fairy ring locations, and much, much more. That's in one necklace. And all of this time, I've been using my Grace of the Elves to practically ignore Seren spirits, fill my bank with items from porters, and basically use it for a little bit of train reduction when I'm using the Seren spells. How am I so bad at this game? So what does this mean to you? Don't do what I did. Don't sleep on one of the most versatile items in the game. Get yourself a Grace of the Elves, and if you're maxed, actually tune it into the Max Guild skilling portals. It's an absolute game changer. Don't be bad, be better than me. Anyway, that's it for the Grace of the Elves. Hope you found this helpful. Grab yourself something good and make the most of it like I definitely haven't been. In the meantime, I'll catch you in the next episode. Happy scaping.